Yo, what's good? It's Mastermind MMA, and I was away for a little bit because my uncle is in the hospital, and he lives down in Virginia, so that was a little bit of traveling and stuff. But yeah, I'm home now, and today's the day, and to quote the great Bruce Buffer, it's time. Fucking John Jones, Daniel Cormier 2, which is the order that it really should be billed, is Jones versus Cormier 2, not the other way around like it is, but we all know what the deal is. I don't even have to get into that. But this video is going to be my picks and like a little bit of a breakdown of why I'm picking who I'm picking. And I don't know how in-depth it's going to get, but I'm going to play it by ear and see how it goes. But I can't believe that it's actually happening because, and all right, I know people say, "Oh, we're supposed to get this." Daniel Cormier is like, "John, we were built to happen 5 times, John, and we only fought once. Let's get this done, young man." And it's like, dude, all right, this shit should have been wrapped up at 197. When John Jones first came back last year, that's when this really should have been wrapped up. But Cormier was hurt, not injured, pulled out of the fight, then fucking 200 happened. All right, whatever. But now we're fucking here. And I don't even want to talk about all that shit too much because we've been dealing with that, waiting for this day. And now this day is actually fucking here. And I'm pumped. And I mean, I don't even think I have to go and really say who I pick in the main event because I'm sure everyone knows. But I'm going to get right on into this bitch. Starting off at UFC 214 at Anaheim, California. John Jones versus Daniel Cormier. I'm motherfucking picking Johnny Bones Jones with a 23-0 record in reality, but it's 22-1. And then you have Daniel Cormier, who in reality his record is what it says it is. Or some could argue that he won that Gustafsson won against DC, but I'm not even playing that shit. So his real loss is to John Jones, and this is him trying to avenge it. So, all right, DC had a nutritionist. All right, he had a nutritionist living with him for months and months, and he's preparing, but he looks more dehydrated and then sucked out than anything. Like weeks out, he's already looking like kind of like a rushed weight loss, like a crash diet, but not a good one. It's not looking like nutrition and stuff like that. And to fucking put that and look at it in a different sense, you look at fucking John Jones, and then he's looking like he's got like his shit so intact, because it's like, all right, so you have genetics and you have how people naturally are. If they there's certain people that have a decent build and they don't do anything, and that's just like off the strength of their genetics. But John Jones right now, he's like you could see the hard work, because you could only get that way with hard work. You know what I mean? Like every fighter, a lot of the time you could see how good of a training camp they had with the way and the shape they show up in at weigh-ins. And John Jones is looking like, we saw John at his biggest, like, muscle-wise. But now he's looking, like, fucking shredded. He's looking shredded. And he's going with this, like, I don't know why he's going with the Wayne Brady look with the bald head and just, like, the beard on the chin and the soul patch. That's fucking like he said he was trying to go for the Pac, but my man Pac had the actual goatee, you know, with the stash and the connectors. But I mean, I'm not even trying to get in on that, man. I'm just saying it's funny because like he just kind of reminds me of like Wayne Brady now with that hair, with the bald head and the beard. But yeah, he's looking fucking shredded. And DC, he's looked better than he's looked than most of his other recent fights. And when I say recent, I mean like the past 3 years. Because he's always come in. I mean, he looked good, decent for DC shape in the first John Jones fight. But the thing is, in the interim, literally meaning interim because he wasn't interim champ in my opinion in that period. So in the interim of that time, he didn't look that great, and he was just like getting the wins off the strength of his wrestling, really. I mean, Gustafsson, he pushed. I'm not gonna take that fight away from DC, but I'm talking about those Rumble fights and the Anderson Silva fight. And then, so DC is saying, I don't know, man. Like, since I'm bringing this down, I gotta be real about it. DC is a good fighter. Like, I've never taken that away from him. He's done things that pissed me off in the past, but like, my bad, I had to grab some water. He's like, he is a elite world class level fighter. I'm not taking that away from him, and I'm not taking and anything can happen in a fight. Like, I'm not gonna say that there's absolutely no chance, because I mean, we've seen throughout history that there's always a chance. Like, anybody can always win, but I mean, they're like, I don't see it, man. Like, unless, like, the only possibility is if John Jones pulls a Luke Rockhold. And what I'm talking about when I say that is what Luke Rockhold against Michael Bisping. Because Luke Rockhold in the second Michael Bisping fight, when he lost, which made Bisping the champ, Luke was like, I'm fucking here for this guy, you know what I mean? Like, you could see like like, he was just like, I'm already out of here. Excuse me. And he was like, you could see that shit in his whole attitude, and it got him knocked out. And he wasn't fighting like himself, and he got his shit knocked out. He was out for a year. And now he's coming back against David Branch, which is, I might get into that shit in another video. But I'm just bringing all that up because all that to say is that John Jones can't underestimate DC, which I don't think he is, and I don't think that he's going to. I think he has DC in the perspective of how DC is as an opponent and as a danger to him. He has that shit like in a very like in focus, realistic perception that I agree with. What he was saying, he was like, listen, I've had like all these people, like Gustafsson was, this is John Jones, he was like, Gustafsson was the only one to really bring me to that moment, you know, where I had to really dig deep. All these other people, I see DC like Rashad, you know, I had bad blood with Rashad, I couldn't lose to him, and like, and he's going listing off all the people, and when you really think about it, it's like, all right, he's looking at DC as a serious opponent, but it's not someone he's looking past. Even though he has a plan, he's not looking past like DC, like, oh, fuck this guy, why am I here? And I hope he keeps that. And honestly, dude, my official call is I'm saying TKO in the third round, baby. I'm saying I wanna say submission in the fourth, but there was an interview that DC said it was, I don't know, I think it was yesterday or some bullshit, and he got into it with John Jones' brother Arthur in the backstage, and then he was like, yeah, fuck your, and he's like, and his brother was trying to say some shit about me too, fuck it, and his fat fucking brother, fuck him, and da 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 da, and he was saying like, oh, like, and apparently in like when they were going back and forth between each other, Jones's brother and DC, he was like, oh, DC's camp, and they were like, oh, you're gonna fail another drug test again, because the brother failed one in the NFL before. And it was like, dude, I feel like John was like, all right, I'm gonna like snag a submission when I can beforehand, but I feel like if he heard about, I mean, I'm sure he heard about it because it was with his brother, and like his brother and him were like, yo, so DC took this shit to a whole nother new level. So like I really think that John Jones might just straight, I hope it is a vicious vicious, classic Johnny Bones Jones on a new level knockout. Like I'm saying, like, I want some elbows in. All right, so I don't. This isn't what I'm calling exactly, but here's what I hope happens in some order. I hope gets DC down, rocks fucking hard elbows with DC. Like, gets DC to fucking scramble in a panic. Like, oh, I can't eat this shit anymore. I gotta get up. DC scrambling. John gets in better positions. Fucks his shit up in, like, in whatever, like, north-south or whatever. And then, like, gets back up on his feet. And DC's all, like, all tentative and scared now because he's all rocked because of all those elbows and shit. And then John Jones pays that, like, 1-2 patty kick and bop. Hits him with that stepping elbow he was rocking Rashad with. And DC's like, oh, fuck, and gets rocked. And then John just fucking hits him with a 1-2 or some crazy kick or some shit. And then DC's just like, DC's not going to I feel like DC's going to get rocked hard. And if he doesn't get, like, cleared, knocked out, like, knocked down, he's going to eat the rock. He's going to, like, get rocked, eat that shot. And whatever, like, subsequent, he's gonna drop to his shit. Like, drop on his knees and shit. Like, you know how, like, Michael Johnson and and Anthony Pettis, like, Pettis in the Holloway fight and Michael Johnson in the Gaethje fight, they were just like, oh, shit, I'm overwhelmed, and just dropped. I feel like DC's gonna pull one of that because, like, he doesn't want to, like, eat those devastating shots at his retirement fight, which I believe this is DC's last fight in the octagon. I don't know if he's going to announce that in the octagon or at the post-fight presser. I feel like this is DC's last night. And it's going to happen in somewhat of that fashion. And I hope all that talking, DC. All that talking. All this time. All those young men you threw out there. All that shit. You have to answer for it tonight. And if he holds his own and if he does, like, I'm going to give DC whatever respect he earns tonight at the end of the night. And honestly, dude, I feel like after this, it's going to kind of be, like, you know, wraps on that the DC hate. Like, I feel like there's not even going to be a need to, maybe, like, in the initial aftermath, but I really don't feel like there's going to be a need to really have mention him that much anymore, because it's gonna be like, all right, he had his run, he had his shit, you know what I mean? He got the belt when Jones is gone. Jones is that guy. DC won against a lot of top guys in the division, undefeated at heavyweight. Respect to him, man. Good for you. Good career. At least you got some gold in this endeavor. I'm not saying that to belittle him, but, like, because, you know, I mean, like, he went to DC. I mean, he went to fucking DC. He went to Olympics and didn't get a medal. I'm pretty sure he didn't make weight. And, like, I don't know. He had a lot of almost. And at least in this sport, in the record books, even though in reality it's an almost, in the record books it's going to say he fucking had the belt. He was a champion. And hold on, I got to grab my charger. Computer's about to die. Give me fucking 2 seconds. Yeah, so I'm still plugging my shit in, but I feel like, honestly, man, there's a very slim possibility that DC could really do anything significant. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like I don't know, man. John's just like, I feel like the break is going to do him good. He wants to be here. He has a lot to prove. John Jones has always shown up. There's not a time John Jones never not showed up. You know what I mean? Like, every time there's pressure, every time he faced adversity, he came through. In the Machida fight, he ate a heavy shot and then was like, all right. If you watch in the beginning in the feeling out process, he was like kind of getting hit a little bit and, like, you know, just like really, all right, let's see, let me get some reads. And then like after he ate that shot in the subsequent rounds, he fucking turned that shit on and fucking motherfucking guillotine and drop you to your standing guillotine and drop you to your face on the canvas. What's good? Vitor Belfort in the fucking first round snaps on an armbar, fucking almost breaks his shit off, and John Jones comes back and fucking, what was it, an Americana? Got him in a nasty Americana or some shit. Fucked his shit up, man. And then Gustafsson, when he needed to dig deep and pull out the latter rounds, he did that. And it's like, and people talk about OSP. Oh, OSP was the most recent. Well, OSP, he took that fight on short notice, and he dominated all 5 rounds. You know, he got hit with like a nice shot one time, and that was it. And then just fucking manhandled OSP, bro. Picking him up, walking him over to the middle of the fucking octagon, slamming him down on the canvas. It's like, what is he got to, like, his worst, if you think about it, his worst performance is an extremely dominant performance. So, and here's another thing that people aren't taking into account. John Jones, part of John Jones's greatness, which also plays into the OSP fight, is that he doesn't take short notice fighters on, and that's for a reason, because part of his game and part of his greatness is how much he studies his fighters. And in every fight that he fought somebody, he did what they want to do to him. He did that to them. And like, that was with every fight he had, including his last DC fight. And in reality, OSP, he didn't have much time to study for. So there's what I'm going to say for that. But DC, he's been studying DC for motherfucking years. Imagine the greatest fighter, arguably of all time, who a big part of his game is studying his opponent, and in his first rematch against the guy he already beat handedly, just so happens to be a guy he's been studying and training for the longest. I feel like John Jones is back, baby. Like, I feel like we're gonna be getting the John Jones. The decision slump is over. It ends tonight. 3rd round TKO or 4th round submission. My official pick is the 3rd round TKO. But like, you know what I'm saying? If a 4th round sub happens, I'm gonna be like, all right, I was kind of thinking that too. But officially 3rd round TKO. I'm gonna put a bow on that shit. Move right on to Woodley Maia. All right. I think like Maia is on like a 7 fight win streak. 6 or I believe 7. Tyron Woodley, this is going to be like pretty much the anniversary of when he won the belt against Robbie Lawler, who's also on this card, which is kind of weird, like awkward for him maybe. Now, I just realized that they're fighting on the same card together, but I don't know. I got Tyron Woodley winning this. The only thing, all right, Damian Maia definitely has a very good chance of doing what Damian Maia does. But Tyron Woodley also does a good job at preparing for his opponents when they specialize, and not essentially being on the offensive for that person, but being on the defensive and knowing how he could insert his game in a counter. So he's not going to be. My worry about this is it's going to be a very tentative fight. He's not going to want to really. I don't even think get past. I don't even know if he's going to want to enter kickboxing range that much, and you know, he's going to be on the outside trying to draw Damian Maia into him. And then, just like, I hope it's not like, how he was just had his back against the cage against Wonder Boy. I don't know if he's going to be doing one of that, like that performance again. And he's saying that he wants to finish Damian Maia, which he really does have the power to do. And he definitely has the wrestling ability to keep it standing. Or if he wants to take it to the ground, he could take it to the ground. But that changes shit. It makes it, you're playing in Damian's field as well. You could control in wrestling, but that's not going to stop him from making scrambles and then trying to use scrambles to set up shit. And he has really good setups, and that shit's fast. So if you're Tyron Woodley, man, you're in good with Dana White now. You have him doing you favors and stuff. You've held the belt for a year. You've defended the belt. You're facing the top contenders. Now what you really need is kind of a fan perception shift, which is what happened in the year when he's like, oh, Wonder Boy said this about me. I don't want to fight him. He could fight Robbie Lawler. And then that got fans to boo him and put him in a bad light. And then, I don't know, the second Wonder Boy performance wasn't that great. And now I don't know. He has some, I don't know, he's just not looked at for his potential yet, And it's like, I'm not saying it's undeservingly so, but he could shift the fans to be a bigger draw and a likable fighter if he does what he has the capability to do. And we all know he could win it. It's just in what fashion. And for my pick, I don't know if I'm going a 5-round decision because I don't know how Tyron's gonna show up. If it's gonna be tentative because he doesn't want, because Damian Maia just really kind of if he's in the pocket, he might just sit on his ass and try and pull half guard. He has really funky ways of getting people down. So I feel like, man, I want Tyron to get the finish. I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna say decision. Tyron Woodley, unanimous. All right, Cyborg Evinger. Do I mean, Tanya, she's a decorated wrestler, has national titles. If she had a weight class for her, she could have probably got Olympic gold. And Cyborg, in her only loss, I think a long time ago, she had problems with wrestling. So I don't know. Some say that she might have this weak point for wrestling, but it's just no one really engages her in that. Or I don't know if they don't get an opportunity to. No one gets to implement a wrestling heavy game plan. And if Tanya does it, she might find some success. But honestly, I feel like it's Cyborg by destruction as usual. Round shit, man. I'm going first round, man. I'm going fucking Cyborg first round knockout. That's what I'm calling. Now, Robbie Lawler versus Donald Cowboy Cerrone. All right, so this fight was supposed to be on 205. Yeah, it was supposed to be on 205. Robbie Lawler said, "I need more time. It was too close from when I just got knocked out. I need time, man." So they're like, "Cool, we'll reschedule it." Donald fought a lot. I'm just going to give my pick, man. I feel like Robbie Lawler is going to win. I feel like Robbie Lawler is going to win. It's a 3-rounder. Is Robbie Lawler going to get a finish? Yeah, dude. I feel like Robbie Lawler is going to knock out Donald Cerrone. I feel like Cowboy is going to get knocked out. I'm calling it. I may be wrong. Oh, shit. Hit my mic. I may be wrong. I'm not like, I don't hate Cerrone or anything like that. He's a fun fighter, but I It's just he folds under pressure. I'm not saying that with any disrespect. We've seen it with the title fights. He's openly talked about it. Most recently was in Colorado against Masvidal. It was his hometown. I feel like this is just too big of a moment. It's a giant card. It's Robbie Lawler, who in reality, not in reality, but you could phrase this fight as a 185er against a 155er. Because Robbie Lawler fought at middleweight. Donald Cerrone fought at lightweight. So that's like 30 pounds, but they're fighting. Lawler's definitely going to be the bigger guy come fight night. How big? I don't think he's going to be more than like 183, 185, somewhere around there. Cerrone's probably going to be right around like 172, 175, like a little over. And, excuse me. I feel like it's just too big of a moment. Because Cowboy and Lawler's just really skilled. He has a lot to prove. He's got to prove that. Listen, those wars didn't take a toll on me. Like Tyron just hits like a beast. It's not the collective brain trauma that got to me. I'm still here. I'm still here to fight. Fucking, I've come to fight. I've come to get knockouts. Like when he was yelling when his lip was fucking ripped in half. That's the monster that Cowboy's dealing with. I mean, Robbie Lawler's on some other shit. Like, he's a beast. And I don't think Cowboy can tame that beast, to be quite honest with you. Now, if Cowboy were to get an upset, at least I don't know who's the betting favorite, but if Cowboy were to get the upset, I'd give him his respect, and I wouldn't put it past him. He's a skilled enough fighter, but I don't know, man. Because he could throw some combos together that could catch Lawler off guard. But I got Lawler. No doubt about that. By knockout in the second round, I'd say. By second round knockout. Jimmy Manuwa versus Volkan Ozdemir. He's actually Swiss. But he might be Russian or something like that. Jimmy Manuwa. I mean, Volkan's a guy that kind of rose up the ranks very fast. Had, I believe his last fight was against Misha. This was the dude that just hit Misha behind the ear, right? And then knocked him out, Misha Serkinov. Yeah, man, I don't even know why I'm like, and all that shit. I got Jimmy Manuwa, but Volkan could really come with an upset. He could really be one of those guys that comes out of nowhere, especially in the light heavyweight. Light heavyweight is fucking, it's pretty thin. So, I mean, Volkan is kind of a product of that thinness, not against him, but he's just kind of knocked out a few guys and wound up in the top 5. Not saying it disrespectfully or anything, but he got here like boom. You know what I mean? It's not like any other division's path to the top 5 is what I'm trying to say, which is the easiest way to say it. So Jimmy Manuwa by, I don't know, I'm gonna say it goes like third round decision, or he might knock him out. I'm hoping Jimmy knocks him out, but I'm calling it a fucking decision. I mean, I'm not saying I hope he knocks this guy out. Personally, I would just like to see a knockout. Ricardo Lamas versus Jason Knight. All right, Jason Knight is a exciting kid on the come up. I know. Shout out to my dude Dan. I know he rocks with him. He's a fan of this guy. I like him too. He's a good fighter. He's 20-2 versus the number 3 ranked Ricardo Lamas. Jason Knight's really got a following behind him, and this matchup is kind of just a big sign that the UFC is really trying to push him and capitalize on that. You know what I mean? Anyone, like how they had Connor and capitalized off his fan base, they see someone already's coming in with him at like a good fan base, so they want to expand on that. So I mean, a win against Ricardo Lamas kind of puts him in title talks. You know what I mean? He'd be a top 3 guy, but will he be able to do it, dude? Ricardo Lamas is a tough fighter. He went 3 rounds with Max Holloway. That like this was the dude that Max Holloway threw down, like pointing to the canvas at the end in 10 seconds, and they were fucking swanging and banging. Yeah, that was this guy. So I have. Fuck it. I say Jason Knight gets the win. I say TKO. I don't know. 3rd round. I don't know. I don't even know if I'm gonna start calling the rounds for these ones. Aljamain Sterling versus Barao. I have Sterling winning. Most likely in a decision. So I fucking, dude, Sterling's in crazy shape. It's kind of wild. like I'm on the UFC website, and the picture of the guy, he kind of looks like a fucking action figure. It's like, what the fuck? All right. Renato Moicano versus T City Brian Ortega. I got T City winning probably by triangle. You know what I'm saying? He could probably pull it off. Yeah, so they're both got good records. Yeah, I got T City. And prelims, Kaylin Curran versus Alexandra Albu. I mean, I don't really know, man. I mean, I've seen Curran fight, but it's not like I'm not too knowledgeable about her. She's got a 4-4 record. This other chick's got a 6-0 record. I don't know, man. I'll say Albu gets the win. Who's this guy? Eric Shelton versus Jared Brooks. Oh. This dude's fucking name is Jared Brooks' nickname is the Money God. My guy, I doubt you're the Money God when you're fighting on the Fight Pass early prelims, homie. Chill out on that. Please wait till you're like making paper before you go with a name like that. Oh, the Monkey God. All right. I didn't even read that shit properly, and I just fucking dissed the shit out of this guy for no reason. All right, my bad, Jared Brooks. I thought you were coming out the gate talking sideways and shit. All right, so you're the Monkey God. All right, so I don't even know, man. I don't even know if I've seen these guys fight. Doesn't even matter who I pick, man. Let's go Eric Shelton. Josh Berkman versus Drew Dober. I mean, Josh Berkman, I don't know if this guy is the same guy who fought I can't even remember, man. I don't even know. I picked Drew Dober. I think this guy, he fought someone. I can't even remember who he fought, but he fought someone, dude, and he just looked so angry, like he wanted to fuck. Like, I don't know, he just looked like an angry ass guy. And I was like, oh, what the fuck, man? Like, it was like, dude, chill out, man. And yeah, I got Drew Dober winning this. He's a good fighter, so yeah. So those are the picks. I know we got fucking. Oh, did I miss this one? Yeah, I definitely did because I don't remember talking about this shit at all. So Andre Touchy Feely versus Calvin Kattar. I got Feely winning. He's a good guy off of Alpha Male. I think that, you know, kind of sucks because the one thing he was kind of really known for was getting fucking kicked in the head by Yair Rodriguez. I don't say that's the only thing, but that's that highlight that they always play with Yair. That's this dude. So, I mean, he seems like a chill ass dude, and he's a good fighter too. You know, that was a good fight with Yair until that happened. It was a fun fight, so I got him winning this. And yeah, so that's everything, man. I know it got less exciting as it dwindled down, kind of just like picks wise, but you know that's because that's just how it goes usually. You know what I'm saying? But that's not how it goes when it comes to the actual fight card, because these motherfuckers could put on fucking bangers all night long, and that happens a lot of times with like cards like these. This shit is fucking stacked. I have no doubt in my mind that this shit should be a great card, especially the main motherfucking event. I don't know about Woodley Maia. It should be a good fight. It depends how they both play it. But I'm saying that shit should be very good. I'm saying Woodley should get a knockout. Or, you know, the most exciting thing that could possibly happen with Maia is a Carlos Condit style submission, where he just gets in and does the damn thing. And you're like, oh, shit. You know, if he pulls that off, that'd be crazy. But, yeah, Woodley, I hope Woodley gets some crazy finish. Cyborg by death. Lawler by knockout. This even Manuel Ozdemir should be a pretty decent fight. You know what I'm saying? So this should be entertaining. So I can't wait. It's almost fucking here. I can't wait, guys. I'm probably gonna do some other videos, and yeah, man, we'll just be fucking just kicking it until this shit happens. You already know it's Mastermind MMA.